Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca from DevourDinner.com. Happy Sunday everyone and welcome to my kitchen. I'm excited to be here. I hope you are too. We're going to make two fantastic recipes that you're going to enjoy the rest of summer and more, I promise. As we join in, we need to check on some technology. So let me see, we should be live on Facebook and we should be live on YouTube. And so let's find out if we indeed are. Oh, I don't know. We might only be live on Facebook today. Let's see. Nope, we are live. Perfect, perfect. Hello, everyone. Hi, Susan. Hi, Kathy. As you're joining in, please say hello. Let me know where you're from. And can you please tell me, can you hear me all right? That is super important if the audio is working. But we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. And we're going to have a fun Sunday. So welcome. Hi, Trelva. Trelva says, I can hear you. So that is a wonderful. We're going to give a big shout out to the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners group. Amy from that group joins in. I don't see that she's here. Oh, there she is. Amy's here now. We want to welcome those from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners group. Welcome. I'm Rebecca from DevourDinner.com, where I make easy to make recipes for busy families using common ingredients. All of this started by teaching my own boys how to cook in the kitchen, their favorite recipes that they grew up with, and it has grown into so much more. So welcome, Amy, and welcome the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners group, and welcome to all of my fans and viewers that come week after week. I so appreciate you and your love and support. So thank you, thank you. Oh, hi, Sally. Sally is over on YouTube. Welcome. We love when viewers hop on over to YouTube. Please don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up, give it a heart, and make sure you subscribe so that you know when I do go live for other live events. But let's dive in. We got a lot to do today, and it's going to be fun. I promise. Okay, let me get my links up. We are going to start with potato salad. Now, this potato salad recipe is made in the pressure cooker. Any brand pressure cooker will work just fine. And we're going to start off by using these little baby potatoes. They come in a little bag of 1.5 pounds. They are the perfect size little potato. So make sure you wash those up, get all of the maybe dirt that's on them or whatever, and we're going to cut them. Now, some of these little potatoes are big and some of these little potatoes are small. So we want to make sure that when we cut these potatoes up that we're cutting them in uniform sizes. So sometimes when they're little like this, I just cut them in half. And when they're big like this, I'll cut them in 4ths or I'll cut them in 6ths, just depending upon the size. So I've got some of these already cut up. And we're just going to cut up some more because we want to use this whole 1.5 pounds. Now we're going to cook these in the pressure cooker, and you're going to need a trivet. So if you're making this along with me, make sure to grab yourself a trivet. I am using a tall trivet today, and I will show you that here in just a moment. But we're going to get these potatoes cut. Now this big old one that you can see me cutting here, okay, I'm going to cut it in 6ths because it makes those pieces more uniform to those smaller potatoes. Sometimes I cut them in 4ths. This guy right here, I'm just going to cut in half. And that guy I'm going to cut in half. So there is our potatoes. Now we're going to take these potatoes and we're going to put them in our pressure cooker. We're also going to fill our pressure cooker with water, and we want to almost cover our potatoes with water. Now here's a fun tip. You can use chicken broth or vegetable broth when cooking your potatoes. Why would we want to do that? Any ideas? Well, let me tell you. If we use chicken broth or if we use vegetable broth when we're cooking our potatoes, it's very similar to when we cook pasta. Those potatoes will absorb the broth and it will add extra flavor. So it's totally up to you. You can use water, you can use broth, whatever you'd prefer. We are gonna pull this pressure cooker into the screen here, and I'm just going to dump these in. There we go. So I've actually got a little bit of extra water in here today. It will be fine. You can add, if you want, a little bit of salt. You could add a little bit of garlic. Anything to help start flavoring those potatoes up is really nice. We're gonna put the lid on. We're gonna close the pressure valve, and we're gonna set our pressure cooker. Hold on, I need to plug in. We are going to set the pressure cooker to 4 minutes. Now, there's so many brands of pressure cookers out there these days that you're gonna have to know how to use your pressure cooker. Hit the pressure cook, the start button, whatever you need to do on your model, and use your plus and minus keys and adjust to 4. So as you can see on the front, it says on. And we just heard the beep. The beep tells us that it has accepted those readings. Oh, wait, stop, time out. You guys, I'm ahead of myself. We're gonna open this up. I should probably watch my notes because I know some of you at home are going, stop, you forgot something, and I totally did. So let's try this again. We got our potatoes in there. We got our trivet. Now I'm using a tall trivet. We're gonna set our trivet on top of the potatoes. Why? Because potato salad has eggs, right? It has hard-boiled eggs. Now you could cook hard-boiled eggs on the stove, or you could cook hard-boiled eggs in your Instant Pot or your electric pressure cooker, but I'm gonna do something a little bit different, and we're gonna cook an egg loaf. And I wanna show you how we do that. The first thing you're gonna need is a flat bottom pan. Now there is a little bit of rounding, but mostly it's flat, okay? This is just a little pan. See, it's just about the size of my hand, really. And I'm gonna crack the eggs into the pan. Let's cancel that. Okay, we're gonna crack the eggs into the pan. And this is how you make an egg loaf. So the nice thing about this is going to hard boil these eggs into a loaf, and then we don't have to crack the shells later because that part is all done. Now, you can cover this with foil if you want to. I don't. I'm just going to set this right on top of that trivet, and then we're going to allow this to cook on up. So now let's try this again, you guys. We're going to pull this in. My trivet is on top of the potatoes. If you don't have a tall trivet, that's okay. Set the trivet on top of the potatoes. Remember, your water line is just barely up to the top of the potatoes. You don't need to go over the potatoes. And then we're gonna put the bowl right on top. And that's it. The eggs are gonna cook in the same amount of time as the potatoes do. Now we're gonna close this. We're gonna lock the back, and we're gonna set it to 4 minutes. So, turn your pressure cook button back on and adjust the plus and minus keys to the number 4, and it will take just a moment, and we're gonna hear that beep. There it is. The beep tells us that it has accepted those readings, and it's going to start heating up the water or the broth that you have in your pressure cooker. As that broth or that water comes to a boil, it will create steam, and steam creates pressure, and pressure will seal off the back of the pressure cooker, and that little pin will come up either flush or it'll poke out a little bit. Either one is fine depending upon your model. Then on the front display, it's going to change to 4 minutes. The timer is going to count down in numbers. So if you're watching it, it's going to count down from 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 before it will beep at you. When it beeps at you for potato salad recipe, we are going to open the pressure valve and let all of that pressure release. It'll shoot up to the ceiling and we'll release the pressure. Okay? So now our potatoes have started. Easy peasy. This is so good. I'm going to push this off camera. I'm going to take a deep breath. And we're just going to hang out for a minute. How's that? I'm going to see what we're doing here. All right. Hello, Sherry. Sherry's from Nebraska. Hello, Phyllis. We've got another YouTube watcher. Can't wait to learn. Hi, Lisa. Amy just outed Lisa as an admin at the Instant Pot 101 for beginners. And Lisa says, shh, don't tell everybody. Hi, Phyllis. How are you? Phyllis is asking how big. I think she's asking how big is the trivet. The trivet I was using was a 2-inch trivet. But again, if you just have the little 1/2-inch trivet or the 1-inch trivet, it will work just fine. And the reason it works is because your potatoes are on the bottom and have created a base. And then you have filled up with water. But you're not going to overfill with water. Remember, the water line is just barely to the top, maybe even a little less. And that trivet will just sit naturally on top of your potatoes because they're solid. And then you can place that bowl right on top. Now you can spray the bowl with a baking spray if you like. Sometimes it does help come out a little bit easier. It's totally up to you. Hi, Doreen. How are you? Kathy. Kathy says, I was wondering about the trivet. Okay, did I answer all the trivet questions? I'm sorry, you guys. Sometimes my days get a little crazy and wonky, and today was no different. I tried to go live, and technology kind of crashed on me and wouldn't go live. And so we had to kind of go around the system to make it work, but we're live now, and that's what counts and what matters, right? Patty says hello from Baltimore, welcome. Kathy's from Maine, welcome. Oh, Phyllis says, sorry, I meant the potatoes. Okay, so Phyllis is asking, how big are we cutting the potatoes? Well, remember, we are using the little new potatoes. So some of them are this size, and some of them are this size. So they're probably more like 3/4 to an inch size when they're cut. The little ones, the little baby ones, I'm just cutting in half. The ones a little bit bigger, I'm cutting into 4ths. And as they get bigger, I'm cutting them into 6ths. So like 1 the long way, and then I'll cut to make 6 pieces. Or if they're really big, I'll cut them that into 4ths so we get 8 pieces. Does that make sense? But I try to keep the potatoes as uniform as possible because as it's cooking, if they're all different sizes, then we have some that are going to get overcooked and some that are not going to get cooked. So you want to try to make things as even as possible across the board with your potatoes. Hopefully that answered the question. And I am just using this little bag. So these are just Dutch Baby yellow potatoes. They're from Melissa's Produce, and it's a 1.5-pound bag. You can also do this recipe. They sell these in a mixture of the reds and the yellows, which is kind of fun. If you like that, you could certainly do that as well. And you can, of course, use a traditional russet potato. And if you're using a russet potato, make sure you scrub those up. You can either peel those potatoes because those outer skins are thicker. You could peel them or you could leave them on. It's totally up to you. And then I would cut them into about 1-inch cubes. So you have a variety of ways that you can do it. If you're using russet, make sure you're doing about 1.5 pounds of potatoes. And again, potatoes come in all shapes and sizes. So it's really hard for me to tell you how many potatoes. But there's plenty of room in the Instant Pot. You can double this recipe very, very easily. You could actually cut it in half if you wanted to as well, and just make a teeny small batch. It works both ways. Kathy says, I love the red potato mix. Phyllis says, I'm a russet gal. Yeah, there's so many different kinds of potatoes. The Yukon Gold potatoes, I love the flavor of. These yellow potatoes also have a good flavor. The russet potatoes do give a different flavor in the potato salad. So it really just all depends on what you're going for. All right, let's make the sauce for the potato salad. All right, while we're waiting for that to heat up. So in this bowl, I've got some Miracle Whip. You're using about 1/4 cup of Miracle Whip, 2/3 cup of mayonnaise. I am using Best Foods mayonnaise. And then we have a bunch of diced green onions, and I have 2 celery stalks that I have diced. That's what's in this bowl right now. We're going to add to it some onion powder, not onion salt, onion powder or garlic powder, whichever you prefer, and celery seed. Okay? So we're adding a teaspoon of both of those. Then we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And we're also going to add some mustard. Now, traditionally, you're going to use a yellow mustard. But let me tell you something. Why not change it up a little bit? Today, I'm going to use spicy brown mustard just to give it a little bit of extra oomph, a little bit of extra kick. And we're going to use about 1 tablespoon of spicy brown. So we're going to add that in. And then the secret ingredient. Now, this recipe is based off of my grandmother's recipe. And back in the day when I was a little girl, my grandmother would make potato salad. And I was not a fan of potato salad, but I can remember that everybody who came to any of these potluck events went straight for her potato salad. And there was never any left. Now, as a kid, I thought that was great because it meant I didn't have to eat any on leftovers. But as I grew up and as I learned to appreciate and value a good potato salad, now I know there's a difference. And her secret ingredient was sweet pickle relish and a little bit of pickle juice. So we're gonna go ahead and add, that's about 1/4 cup of sweet pickle relish that we're gonna add to the mix as well. And we're just gonna stir this up. And this is the sauce for our potato salad. Now, if you want more crunch, add in more celery. If you want more tang, add in a little bit more of pickle juice or the juice from the sweet pickle relish. This mixture turns a nice yellow color. Yeah, you can see that live. So this is what we will mix into our potatoes. Now our potatoes are still heating up. They're still doing what they're doing over here. And so we're just gonna let them be for a minute. And we're gonna push this off to the side. Okay, recipe number 2, let's get started. While we wait for our potatoes to cook in the Instant Pot, we're gonna do a super fun summer recipe in the air fryer. You guys, I'm loving my air fryer. I use the Cosori Turbo Blaze air fryer. I actually have 2, both of them are Cosori. They're the 5.8 quart basket style, and they're used continually, especially in this summer heat. Eastern Idaho has gotten quite a bit of heat this last week or 2. We near almost triple digits, which is really crazy for us here in Eastern Idaho. And so I like to do anything I can to turn off the oven and keep the house just a little bit cooler. So this is a super simple, super fun way to make pineapple upside down cakes, and they're mini individual cakes. Now this recipe can be made for yourself for an evening treat. It can be made for a game night, and all of your people who come over for game night can actually make their own. You can do this for a backyard barbecue. You can do this camping. It is so versatile, so simple, and so easy to do. You will wow whoever you make this for. I promise you, like, it's crazy. All right. We're going to start with some aluminum foil. So my aluminum foil sheets are rather large because I have a rather large box. They don't need to be quite this big, but it works. Let's go. Oh, you guys need the recipe. Silly me. Hold on. There you go. I just dropped the recipe in the comments so that you can follow along if you're on a desktop, or you can hop on over to it later and enjoy it then. I'm going to use the sponge cakes. Now these sponge cakes are readily found around your produce section, around the strawberries in your produce department at your local grocery stores, and that's what we're going to use for the base of the cakes. All right, these cakes, oh, we're not top down yet. Hold on. There we go. There we go. You're going to want to pull them apart. You're going to place it right in the center. Then we're going to take a knife and we're going to spread some softened butter right in that well of the sponge cake. So just do about a tablespoon of butter. And you want softened butter because you want to fill in the sponge cake. I like to get it up around the sides a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put the butter on. Then we're going to add some brown sugar because, of course, a pineapple upside down cake has that buttery brown sugar mixture that the cake is cooked in. So we're going to take about a tablespoon of brown sugar and we're just going to put it right in the center. Super simple, super easy. Now, I got too much going on here, you guys. We're going to push this out of the way for a minute. Well, maybe we'll just go right over here. You guys can still see what's going on. Now, on this plate, I also have brown sugar. So if you're, right now I'm going to do 2 cakes. For every cake, you're going to put 1 tablespoon of brown sugar in the cake. And you want 2 tablespoons of sugar on a plate. Now this part is optional, but I'm telling you, it just makes it so yummy. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pineapple ring and we're gonna put it on the brown sugar. We're gonna flip it over. I want the brown sugar stuck to the pineapple ring. And then we're gonna set it right on top. It's just that simple. Okay? Now, we're gonna take some of the pineapple juice from our can. So reserve some of that juice and you're gonna take 1 tablespoon of juice and we're just gonna pour it right in the middle. And I like to just kind of drizzle it in so it can kind of start melting that sugar away. And then we will top it with a maraschino cherry. Make sure to take that stem out. Put that cherry right in the center. That is our cake. So now we're gonna wrap this up. Because we don't want any of those juices to come out, make sure to be careful how you're wrapping it. I like to kind of pay attention and tuck these edges in and under the best that I can. Now you want to make sure that you remember which way is up. So I like to fold these in, and the way these are folded is the up, right? But when we put them in the air fryer, we're gonna flip it upside down so that all the butter, all the brown sugar can just ooze and heat up inside of our little tinfoil packet. Now, make sure you heat up your air fryer to 350 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead and get that heating up, and we're gonna make this other one super quick. So we'll start again with the butter. Again, we're doing about 1 tablespoon of butter. I do like it up around the top. There we go. And then we'll take 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and put right there on top. We'll go back to our plate. We'll grab a pineapple ring and we'll coat this pineapple ring. Can you see what I'm doing? There we go. In that brown sugar. So like I said, I had about 4 tablespoons of brown sugar on this plate. 2 per pineapple ring. 2 tablespoons per pineapple ring. And then 1 tablespoon on the cake itself. There we go. Put that right on top. And then we will add in that pineapple juice that we've reserved from the can. And we're just pouring that right into the center hole. I'm just kind of drizzling it in, nice and slow. And then we'll take a maraschino cherry, pull out the stem, and we'll put it right on top. Now we will close this up. Okay, that's it. Easy peasy, right? Super easy. Let's clean up my workstation a little bit. I feel like we got a lot going on here today, you guys. All right, we're heating up our air fryer. We're gonna open up the air fryer here in just a moment and we're gonna put them in. We're gonna cook these for 7 to 9 minutes. And we're gonna heat them upside down. So that's gonna heat the cake. It's gonna melt the butter. The butter's gonna mix with the brown sugar. The cake is gonna absorb all those yummy flavors. And then we're gonna flip it back over and open it up. And it is delicious for a quick, simple, easy pineapple upside down cake that you can take camping, because you can bring all these ingredients with you and make it right there on the fly when you're camping, backyard barbecues, game nights, in the evenings, just because. And it is so, so good. So good. I'm excited. All right, what questions do you guys have? Any questions? All right, let's open this up. Now, oh, you need to see this. So here we go. Here's our foil packets, and we're turning them upside down. So here's our other one, turning it upside down. We're gonna put it right back in, and it's gonna cook. So it is done and going. Our potatoes have about 1 minute left before we'll need to open up our pressure cooker. And when we do that, make sure your pressure cooker is away from your cabinets. It's away from any low-hanging lights, because we're gonna open the pressure valve, and because that has not had any time to naturally release, there is a lot of pressure in there. And it's gonna take a little bit for all that pressure to come out. We might even get some spitting. So that's because we have potato and starch in there with the water, and that starch might be close to the top. And if it is, and it starts to spit, we can easily close the pressure valve to stop the spitting. Allow that starch to settle just a little bit before we open it back up. So we'll open that up, let that do its thing. We got a lot going on here. Let's clean up my little workspace. There we go. I feel like I've got room again. Sometimes when I start these lives, we have so many ingredients and so much going on that it gets just a little crazy. Just a little crazy. All right. We're gonna need, let's see here. We're gonna need a colander to rinse the potatoes and a bowl to catch the liquid. You can do this in your sink and let all of the liquid go. We don't need the liquid, we just need the potatoes. But I'll show you what we're gonna do. It's gonna be good. Phyllis is saying, I can actually do the upside down cakes in my Duo Crisp. Yay. Yes, you can. You can absolutely do that. Patty is asking, are you using regular butter or unsalted? I'm actually using salted butter, but you could use unsalted. Those are good questions. Okay, let's see. Let me give a shout out. Big hugs, you guys. So many of you who come back week after week, I so appreciate you. And you share this live video onto your Facebook feeds, into groups, you share with your friends, you send them in Messenger, and I am so grateful. So I just want to say thank you to all of you fans who have been so loyal and helping support me as I go live and hang out with me. It really is fun to come on live on Sunday and to get to just hang out, but thank you so much for sharing, for liking, for being a part of Devour Dinner. I so appreciate it. And of course, a big shout out to the Instant Pot 101 for Beginner group. They have been amazing through the years, supporting these live Facebook demos to help you at home learn some more recipes and how to use your pressure cooker. And if you're watching for the first time, I really hope you'll say hello and let us know that you're new, because this is a place where I want to help you use your pressure cooker or your air fryer at home. And no question is silly. We're here to answer and to help you so that you can make these recipes too. So welcome if you're new. Oh, Susan, she's like, we appreciate you also. I love it. Trelba is asking, how long do you cook the upside down cake? The upside down cake is gonna cook for 7 to 9 minutes in the air fryer at 350 degrees. Yum Yum and Tam Tam says hi from YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Teresa says hello. Teresa, are you new? You might be new. Welcome. Even if you're not new, welcome. Phyllis says, thank you for doing these lives. I have learned a lot. Phyllis, I'm so glad. I really am. That's been kind of the fun thing over the years, is to get to know people. And there's so many people whose work schedule changes and then they can't watch live, but they watch on the replay and send me messages. And it warms my heart. It just warms my heart. All right, our potatoes are done. You see all that steam coming off? Now, sometimes, this is a good one. I don't have a paper towel over here today, but I'm going to show you this because I want you to learn from this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off the eggs. So here are our eggs, but you can see there's some liquid on top. So you remember when I said that you could put foil over the top? You can. Or you can just take some paper towel and dollop it off. Or you can just like drain it back into your potatoes. Either way. Now these we're gonna loosen the edges with a little spatula, because we just wanna loosen the edges, and then we're just gonna flip it upside down onto a plate because we want it to cool. Okay, super, super simple. Let me put those down first for a minute. We're gonna get our trivet out of the way. We don't need our trivet anymore. And then we're gonna drain the potatoes. This is gonna heat up that camera above, so just bear with me. It's also gonna fog up my glasses. Now, because I don't have a sink right here handy, and because I don't have my helper today, we're gonna drain off all that liquid. Drain it off. I'm gonna set it down really quick, and we're gonna get rid of this liquid. There we go. And now I'm gonna use this bowl. All right, there's our potatoes. Grab yourself a fork, because these potatoes are hot and we can't mix our sauce with hot potatoes. But while the potatoes are hot, I want you to mash about 1/3 of the potatoes. Trust me here, okay? They will mash so easily. What I like to do is I just kind of go around the edges and I just mash them. And I just press them into the bowl. And you're gonna do about 1/3. And that's probably plenty. Then you're gonna stir them all together so that you have some whole potatoes and you have some that are mashed. Now, if you've mashed them, sometimes these, the skins will come off and you can just pull them out if you don't want them. But that's what I want you to do with your potatoes. Okay? Now, this potato needs to cool. You need to put this in your fridge for about an hour so that these potatoes can cool. You do not want to mix our sauce with the hot potatoes because it just goes all flat and runny and yucky, and you don't want to do that. The same goes for our egg loaf that we're doing. Okay, this has to cool as well. So we're gonna push these off to the side and watch what we're gonna do. Hold on. Look what we got here. We are all ready. So here's potatoes that I cooked earlier today. I mashed some, we have mixed those all together, and here's my egg loaf that's nice and chilled. Now just take a knife and slice your egg loaf. Because it's chilled, you can cut right through. You can also push this through a cooling rack. If you have a cooling rack that has the grids on it, you can actually push it through those cooling racks, and then they are the perfect little squares that are just amazing for your potato salad. It's also kind of fun too. But because we did this in a flat bottom pan, notice it's like the same thickness all the way across, which is kind of what you want. If you were using a pan that's more rounded, you're gonna get a much thicker, but the edges are gonna be super thin. And so you're not gonna get a good cook on all of it. All right, we're gonna throw that in. And we're gonna just kind of toss this up. See how nice that is? All of our egg is perfectly cooked. We're just gonna kind of toss it together. And then I'm gonna add the sauce that we mixed up earlier. So if you just joined us, remember in the sauce is a little bit of Miracle Whip, and it's a 1/4 cup of Miracle Whip, 2/3 cup of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of mustard. You can use yellow mustard, which is traditional. Today I've used a spicy brown mustard. And you're going to use a teaspoon of onion powder or garlic powder and a teaspoon of celery seed. Then you're going to dice up a bunch of green onions and 2 celery stalks, and you're going to add those as well. And the secret ingredient, sweet pickle relish with a little bit of pickle juice. That's Grandma's recipe that everybody comes back for over and over. Now, fun fact, I have had viewers who have made this exact recipe and have taken it to their work potluck socials when they're doing like competitions. So I've had a number of people who have had a competition where they all make like a potluck salad or even a potato salad recipe, and they have won. Like, I had one person who came back to me for a number of years of like, okay, I won last year with your grandma's potato salad. I need another good potato salad recipe. So it was super fun, super fun. Look at that. Is that beautiful? I'm ready to do a happy dance and to taste it. I'm starting to dance over here. I am ready. Amy says the magic of pre-cooking. Hi, Shar, how are you? It is the magic of pre-cooking, you're right. But we got a taste test. Now I'm gonna put some in a bowl. It won't all fit in this bowl, but it's okay. Ooh, I didn't stir from the bottom, you guys. Make sure you get all of those potatoes off the bottom. If you need to add a little bit of extra mayonnaise, make sure you do it. There we go, we got that piled high. We're also, I'm gonna put some on a plate as well so I can taste it live. Push this off and away. We'll clean up my messes and we're gonna get some paprika. Okay, we gotta do a little bit of paprika right on top. It gives it a little bit of color, which is always nice, and a little bit of flavor to add to it. Let's see. What do we got today? It's amazing what happens when I use these little cheesecloths, these colored cheesecloths. How all of a sudden the color pops. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. So, so pretty. All right. We're gonna push this off to the side and we are then going to open up our air fryer. These are done. Now these finished just a couple of minutes ago. I like to let them sit for just a minute before opening them up. They are hot. Don't be silly and think you can just grab these with your hands. These are hot. Here we go. Ho ho ho. Look at this. You see that? Grab yourself a little spatula because these cakes do get a little stuck to the bottom of the foil. What I want to show you, okay, first of all, beautiful, but I'm gonna kind of dissect this cake because I wanna show you some things. So look at the cake and along the edges. Can you see out front maybe? Maybe I need to cut it. Let's try cutting it. Because that brown sugar butter mixture has soaked into all the sides of the sponge cake, and it is gonna be melt in your mouth. Delicious. We're gonna open up this other one. I don't have a plate handy for this one, but I do want you to see it. Now the foil will stick because the pineapple juice, when it runs out, I'm gonna see if I can turn this on its side a little bit. Oh, I can. Okay, this is really hot. Okay, do you see that cake? Do you see how it's absorbed all the brown sugar and the juices and everything? It's like saturated. So think of like a dulce de leche cake where it has all the milks and it's just absorbed everything. That's what's happened in the sponge cake. And you get all of those yummy flavors that you want from a pineapple upside down cake without all the work because we've used sponge cake. So good. I'm telling you, so good. Let's get this back into view. And we're gonna dive in and try it. Here we go. How's that? We're gonna lift that up. There. Beautiful? Okay. We're gonna try some potato salad first. It smells good. It smells so good. All right, you guys, I'm struggling. This is so good. I don't know why as a kid I didn't like it. I love the mashed potatoes mixed in with the cubed potatoes. I love the texture difference that it gives. And then of course you get the crunch from the celery. You get the added flavors from the green onion. It is delicious. Now, if you want to take this up a notch, make sure to let it sit in your fridge overnight because those flavors come out and meld together so beautifully, and it's even better the second day if you can wait that long. We never can. So good. It's just delicious. So good. All right, there's the potato salad. Love it. So easy to do, so perfect. Let me grab that link again. I'm gonna drop both links because it's been a hot minute since I've dropped those links. Now, one thing that I didn't do, sometimes I get talking and I forget these things. You can always add salt and pepper. Because I like to season the water the potatoes cook in, I don't add a lot of salt and pepper after the fact, but you can add salt and pepper after the fact. So as you're mixing it up and you taste it, if you want some more salt, you want some pepper, add those into it because they do enhance the flavors. You know, I love my Redmond salt. I do have a code if you ever want to order. So let me drop that link for you as well. The code is Devour Dinner, one word, all caps. And you can get 15% off of your order, which is wonderful. They do a lot of fun different salt blends too that are absolutely great. Now, we gotta try this. Sometimes I like to take it up a notch. So I have got sea salt caramel. Put a little drizzle, put a little sea salt drizzle ice cream on top. I actually have some sea salt caramel ice cream in the freezer. I just didn't grab it. There we go. Doesn't need a lot. Just a little drizzle. And now we're just gonna cut into this. Look at this. This is so good. Okay, this might be too hot. I have to tell you, pineapple upside down cake, from when I was a kid, I would make it. This is a recipe I would do Sunday afternoons. I love to get in the kitchen and bake. I loved how the cake would absorb into the butter brown sugar mixture with the pineapple flavors. I just love pineapple upside down cake. So to find this recipe and to figure out how to make it so much simpler for events that require simplicity is so cool and so much fun. I hope you'll try out both of these recipes. I hope you'll tag me when you do. Take a photo, send it to me, post it on social media, tag at Devour Dinner. They're wonderful recipes. This time of year, there's lots of family reunions, backyard barbecues, neighborhood socials, all kinds of events. And if you are assigned a side dish, take this one. It's a winner, hands down. Even if 5 other people bring potato salad, this one will go first, I promise. And make sure you bring a little bit of fun into your life and try these pineapple upside down mini cakes. Super fun, super great. And if you've tried these recipes or any of the other recipes on my site, would you do me a favor, please? Would you hop back over to Devour Dinner and just take a moment and leave a review? You can also leave a star rating on how much you liked it, or you can even put a comment on anything you added or maybe you modified and changed for your family at home. Other viewers love to read those comments, and it certainly helps me a ton. All right, everybody, that's what I got for you today. I will be back next Sunday, same time, with another couple of fun recipes. And I hope this week that you have fun. It's going to be a great week. We've got Olympics starting here soon, which are always fun to participate and watch in and celebrate and do all the fun things that way. So until next week, everybody, have a fantastic week. Stay safe, stay cool, and remember, be kind. Everybody's fighting a battle you know nothing about, so just be kind. All right. Thank you, everybody. Happy Sunday. Bye now.